Hey y'all, I'm gonna talk about something a little morbid today. The topic is, should the dead take up real estate? And the reason it's on my mind is because I saw something online. This person was buying a brand new home, and they did the scan of the house. The house was beautiful, but behind the house is a graveyard. And some people was like, oh no, we can't do that. And it is spooky. And my neighborhood, about 10 miles from here, it was a grave site. And I rode through the neighborhood. They have put new apartments back there, and they're working on some more areas. So should dead people take up real estate? Now they say that a person is a person born every day, and it's a person that dies every day. But I'm from Alabama, and there's this little church where my grandmother and my uncle was buried on my mother's side. And that graveyard has been the same size for 30 years. Now, these are things that I've been thinking about. And recently, this one lady got in trouble because she was selling body parts, and she sold somebody who had AIDS. And so she went to jail. But they've been doing this for years. They only got in trouble because the person had AIDS. She didn't do her proper research about the individual, and she sold some bad organs. And I've heard somebody say they went to see their person, and they had newspapers inside of them. They've been stealing organs. They've been doing that. So we aren't naive to it anymore. But I did post on my reels about the people. I was like, where did the graveyard go? And everybody said it's going to be some bad spirits in those new houses. Those people are going to be so unassuming. They don't know, because so many people move into this area, Clarksville, Tennessee. They're not going to know it was a graveyard where their new house is. All they know is that they're getting a new house. But in one reel that I did see, the graveyard was still behind the house. So the builder, he took the land, but he didn't, he left a strip for the graveyard. But we all know they aren't burying these people. Some of them, you will dig them up. They'll have caskets that stack on top of each other. Some of them, you dig them up, it won't be a casket there. It might be some bones. It's just the majority of them are scamming, and we are wise to it. Some people they don't want to pay $15,000 to be buried, and some people are getting cremated. And this conversation would just really spook me out. I'm not spooked right now, I guess, because I'm about over the hill myself. But I'm not spooked right now. But I'm just something you think about. Like reality, what is real? I mean, we are tired of all the lies. Let's be real. What are they doing with these people? And yeah, that's what I was thinking about. So it was something else that I was thinking about too. I studied religion, and in one of the religions, they used to wash the bones before the Europeans came over and tried to take over how you should bury your people. They used to bury people in caves, because if you go on these historic trips, they have caves full of bones. But then people start living in caves, the caveman. So should dead people take up real estate? Then they have so they used to wash the bones, and they would sit the bones out. The vultures would eat the flesh, and then they would use it. I forgot which religion did this, but they would use they would take the bones and then they would put them in some type of a ritual type setting. But like Americans, the Europeans, they started the let's bury them and get money type thing. Because back in the day, if you do a little research, they used to take the old people out away, miles and miles away from the house, and leave them there. And then sometimes the people would come back. But they was like, the people wasn't acting the same. They would be acting different, like weird. And then they was like, well, maybe they got a demonic spirit. So what they started doing, they started draining the fluids out of people. They also used to bury people and give a bell. Because when they started digging up those graves to get those coffins, they were seeing scratch marks inside of the grave. And then technology has advanced because now we know that people can go in a coma. Now we know that people can go into like deep sleeps. So you can try to listen to the heart or whatever, and you can't hear it. You can't hear the heart. You can't hear the breaths, but these people are still alive. So they started draining all the blood. Like, you ain't coming back because we scared if you come back. So it's kind of weird. I believe people can go into a deep sleep, a deep coma. Their body temperature will drop, but they won't be dead. So that's kind of weird. Like, some people, a doctor declare you dead, and then next thing you know, some people's like they wake up because that's like dead. I ain't dead. And I've heard of that. Those like out of body experiences. It's phenomenal. There's so much we don't know about ourselves. We're studying and we listen to everybody else, but it's 2023. It's time to be more aware of what's going on and being honest with ourselves. Because for one, there's no way that the lady should have sold some organs without permission. And that's no way that she should have sold some bad organs to someone that you're already sick and losing your organs. You don't want to come back and die. That's one thing I was thinking about. This is off subject about the blood. They recently start saying that the people, I'm gonna say the gays, LBG, that group, can start giving blood if they have one partner. But then you're messing with E. coli in your rectum, which is bacteria, so you can't say that blood is safe. So when it comes to these blood transfusions and stuff like that, the humans they're really smart. Now they come up with some stuff. They can take your old heart and give you a new heart, but it's kind of like disturbing to me. But anyway, back to the topic. Should the dead take up real estate? And so now they're trying to get a thing where you can turn yourself into a tree or do all these things. But I personally don't think that the dead should take up real estate. Because if you think about it, they're saying that we are almost out of, which is a lie, but they're saying that we don't have any more land. And they're building new homes everywhere. But they're building all in cities. When you travel, you see all this empty land that nobody has. And then you will see, when you look on YouTube, and you'll see Nevada places people go camp for free or whatever. And I think one thing about Nevada, it's like 116 in the summer, so it's like it would be inhabitable. That heat people would probably die. So people want to be near the water, and they want to be near the cities and towns because it's comfortable. You got to get groceries and things like that. It would be too hard on you to, but you can basically start your own town anywhere, your own city, and people will come out there because that's what they're doing with the RVs. They're just parking out there, living. They put bathrooms and water, and it's expanding because it's so much land, like I said, that people haven't inhabited. But we know if it's crowded now with all of us living, and people has been here since the 1500s. Just imagine how big the graveyard is supposed to be. I've seen some big ones because I was traveling this summer. I was going to Florida, I think, and I just pulled over. I was so tired, and it was a Walmart, and I slept so good. And I woke up and I looked across the street. I was like, it was a big graveyard, and I was so comfortable in that peace, and I was like, that's why everybody else over there at peace too. And it was a really nice one. But I was thinking, that is a lot of real estate. They did have a bunch of graves, but the one that I'm thinking about in Alabama, that thing hasn't grown in 30 years. And my grandmother, she was buried out there 20 years ago. My uncle, he was buried out there like 20 years ago, and it's the same size. So babies are being born in the hospital every day, and people are dying every day. Where are they putting these bodies at? That is the question. So I personally, this is morbid, and I hope I'm not, But anyway, I don't want to take a real estate. I just don't want to do it. I don't think we should. But anyway, thank you for watching my video.